Crying.
Well, look, the media spin on this is so absurd.
It's crazy.
Julie, this is if your house is flooding and somebody says, it's okay, the hydration is going to be spectacular for you people. I mean, that's basically what they're telling us. When you dig into this Fox poll, it's really, for the Biden administration, this is a disaster. 61% of Democrats, 93% of Republicans, and 85% of independents say this is a bad economy for them. And all you have to do is look at the underlying evidence here. 61% of Americans living paycheck to paycheck. You got 20 million Americans who are not paying their utility bills. Something is clearly wrong with this economy, and the rank crazy spending of Joe Biden has really not helped matters much. The debt is going through the roof. We're at, $33 trillion of debt? That's $100,000 for every man, woman, and child in America. I don't think people fully grasp that.
Don't forget the migrants, too. Not just Americans, but all the migrants.
All the migrants that we also are responsible for now, and that these cities are having to absorb, and that's why these cities are not burdened.
And Joey, the top two issues are immigration and inflation, and those are two things that the Biden administration has failed horribly on. He is in denial about inflation, and he's also in denial about immigration.
Yeah, let me explain how some of these affect regular Americans. And that's not to say that you guys don't know this, but regular Americans who we're talking to at home, immigration, take that for example. My dad was a brick and block mason. He charged, we'll just put a random number out there, $1.25 a block. That's what it took for him to hire 3 or 4 laborers, another mason, pay for the materials to get there, lay the block, and make just enough money on the back end that if it took an extra day or two of labor, he still made money. If Hispanics come in, and back then the 90s and 2000s, it was Hispanics, but it was Southern border now, who knows? But if illegal migrants come in and they don't have to pay for Social Security disability, they don't have to pay for insurance, they don't have to pay taxes, and they can lay that block for 50 cents a block, you know what happens? My dad is forcibly retired at 56 years old and dies at 63 from probably alcoholism and a broken heart. So this issue attacked my family right head on. It attacked my dad's career. It took it away from him, left him to his worst vulnerabilities. And that's not anybody's fault but his. But I saw this issue really attack my hometown and my family. And I say that having grown up with the kids of illegal immigrants that I love and call friends and fellow Americans.
Right.
So it is an issue that's hard to wrap your hand around and have one opinion or the other, but it's an issue that attacks the lower class and lower middle class. You look at inflation, how do poor people have a chance at getting ahead in life? They borrow capital to invest in their ideas and their hard work. You can't do that if that money costs more than you can pay back.
Yeah.
And that's where we are. What's your number one means of gaining capital if you're poor and you don't have something is your home, if you happen to have paid some of it off. So we're going to borrow money at 6.5%, 7%. You can't do that to take a risk on starting a business. So there's so much about this that, yeah, you can show, groceries don't cost quite as much, or energy's coming down a little bit, or mortgage rates are coming down a little bit. But the situation in its entirety looks really bleak for people just trying to get a step up.
Well, the American dream will not exist if people cannot go out and afford homes. And home prices right now are unaffordable for the majority of Americans, not to mention the interest rates.
Savings. You have to have the ability to accrue savings. But when you look at these numbers, Americans are living paycheck to paycheck, even those making $100,000 and more. This is not a sustainable situation.
Right now, in this economy, first-time home buyers are out. They're just completely out. They can't afford it. And home prices right now have not returned to pre-pandemic levels, and the interest rates are crazy. Now, the interest rates are supposed to be going down sometime in the spring, early summer.
They're going down from super crazy to just really crazy.
To average. That's still above average, considering what we had under the Trump administration. All right.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.